It's going to be a difficult game. We knew that watching them previous to playing them last week. And tough opponent. And we played very well in the home game. Maybe caught Guatemala on a good time because they'd already qualified and made some changes. But we took advantage. We beat the team we had to beat. Tomorrow will be a completely different game. That's what we expect. So it's 0-0. We have to do it all again. And yeah, as I said, tough game.
Damion, how important will be team spirit tomorrow in the field?
It'll be huge, but knowing our team, we're big on that. You know, we're like a family. We're together. The camaraderie in our group is next to none. And you know, as Jamaicans, we have a fighting spirit and a happy spirit. So we just have to be positive and stick together and weather the storm.
Yes, go ahead.
Gario Graham, JFF Live. Damion, obviously you guys had a 3-0 victory last week in Jamaica against the same team, Guatemala. What are you doing as the vice captain to make sure the boys are staying focused and not taking this game for granted? So, you know, after a convincing victory, you want to still have that same edge.
Just stick to the plan, you know, follow the boss's instruction. He's been doing a really good job with the coaching staff to keep us grounded and to keep us focused and to keep us sharp. I think the most important thing for us is creating a winning mentality, whether or not it's the World Cup qualifiers or the Gold Cup. Just have to go into training sessions and be competitors and push each other. So when it's game day, you know, not saying it's easier, but it becomes easier because we've been doing the right things in training. So yeah, I mean, it's going to be a different ball game tomorrow. We expect them to come harder, run harder, have different personnels on the field, but we just have to put our best foot forward, follow the coach's instruction, and stick together as a team, and we should be able to get 3 points.
And Coach, you have now a team that you mentioned last week be super competitive. Each spot in the team is very competitive. Do you feel like the guys that you're currently going into tomorrow's battle will be competitive all throughout the Gold Cup? Is there anything that you're missing from a roster standpoint? Any adjustment that needs to be made, or do you think that the guys that you have are ready to go to the very end?
Yeah, we've developed the squad over the last 3 weeks, as you know, and been following us from the UK squad to the World Cup qualifying squad, and we've added a couple more. It's great to see Ethan Pinnock with us, and even better to see Mikel Antonio. Both training this morning, and it's great to see them on the field. It improves our squad, it improves the strength of it. And yeah, as you rightly say, and Damion mentioned it, we mustn't be complacent tomorrow. It will be hard work to win again, but we have got competition for places, and that's the thing to have as a head coach, is make sure that competition is facing training, and try and make training as hard as the games, which is difficult, but hopefully we've done that, and we're totally focused. We're totally focused on doing the job again, and that's the theme of it. We've got to do it all again.
Coach McClaren, Jamaica used to be part of one of the favorites to win the World Cup or to face its semifinals and finals. How the team gonna face this new opportunity in this World Cup?
One game at a time, one day at a time. We've arrived, we've recovered from last week. 2 good training sessions, and it's the process, so we go through the process. We only focus on Guatemala, not even thinking about Guadalupe and Panama. So yeah, we have to start the tournament well, and make sure that we get 3 points and then move on to the next.
Damion, follow the thing of your coach. How the team's going to face Guatemala tomorrow? What is expectation for the team? How the team feels if the team is complete for face tomorrow game?
I mean, for as a team, any team, you want to go into into a game wanting to win. So first and foremost, we have to have a winning mentality. Again, we respect Guatemala, whether they play their first team rotate. For us, it's just sticking to our playing style, sticking to the instructions of the staff, and going out there to get 3 points. It's a tournament. It's we have to get points on the board, and we'd like to be top at the end. So, yeah, we just have to go out there and have a winning mentality and come home with the 3 points.
We'll take a couple of questions virtually now. Drake Hills, good afternoon. Go ahead.
Good afternoon, Drake Hills from ESPN FC. A question for the manager, but also for Damion as well. I'll start with Steve. Since taking over last year, you mentioned earlier that there has been some players from the UK that have joined the squad, but I think it's significant that some of them are obviously a little bit younger. I'm thinking of Tyrese, 21 years old. What's the significance of players coming into the squad much younger, particularly from the UK, and how does that impact the competitiveness of the squad as you go into the Gold Cup and obviously World Cup qualifying later this year?
Yeah, we're not just focusing on now, but also looking to the future. And these players who come into the squad are there on credit. So we followed these players for many months. We recruit throughout Europe, as well as on the island of Jamaica, also the US. So we're looking for better players and good players all over the world. And so we're bringing these players in, not for experience. They're playing a part. Tyrese Campbell, Burrell, people like that, Mothersill in the Unity squad we had come in. They're there on merit, and they've been great additions. Similar to when we put Warner Brown in from the local league, he's impacted. Burrell impacted in the Unity Cup, and it's they add to training as well. The enthusiasm, the way that they approach training, they make it difficult for the already established senior players, and that's what we want. We don't want people coasting in training or games, and adding young players who are very keen, very enthusiastic, is a great addition and gives competition for the senior players.
Yeah, Damion, I saw that you were smiling when discussing obviously being a senior experienced player. Not only with the Reggae Boys, but obviously at the club level, CONCACAF football. How would you be able to describe your role in terms of those players coming into the team, obviously trying to help them gel with what CONCACAF football is all about?
I think first and foremost, I just have to make them feel at home. I've been here almost a decade, maybe a little bit more, so yeah, I'm familiar with that, but it's very tough, this environment, no matter who you play, from the lowest team to the highest ranked team in CONCACAF. So get them acclimatized, let them feel at home, let them feel the warmth, of welcoming and being around us as experienced players. And then through training and games, they can see my drive, they can see the fire in my belly, they can see the aggression, that I'm fearless, and I think that adds, with their quality, add another 2 or 3, pace to their steps and to their hunger. I think I affect the team positively when it comes to that, and, just like a no-nonsense, winner, fighter, warrior mentality. I think I drive the team a lot in that perspective. So yeah, the young guys, they've been working hard. Kind of a little competition. We have a rivalry in training, OV young, we say, and we push each other from start to finish in practice. And again, that just brings out the winner in us and the winning mentality and the just wanting to do our nation proud and to be great every single day we step on the pitch.
Thank you, Drake. Jason Hall.
Thank you, Simon. Good evening, Coach. Good evening, Damion. I have one question for each of you. Coach, I'll start with you. Are there any players that have been named in this Gold Cup squad that are currently not available for selection?
We've got 1 or 2 little niggles at the present moment, but we're assessing them daily. We'll reassess tomorrow morning, pick a team and a bench that hopefully can compete very well tomorrow and win the game.
Thanks, Coach. And Damian, going into your 5th Gold Cup, can you compare this squad to some of the others you've been a part of, like maybe one similarity and one difference that you can, from your perspective?
It's just with the experience. My first Gold Cup, we had a much more local-based squad. I think it was only probably 4 or 5 players playing overseas in my first Gold Cup. And then now moving forward to this Gold Cup tournament, I feel like we have more experience. We have players playing all over the world with bringing different qualities, different experiences from their club. It has helped us to grow a lot and to make the national team more competitive. And as coach said, you have to be here on merit. You can't just coast through and think you're always going to get selected, or you have to bring your A game. You have to come and work hard and show that you want to be a part of something great. So yeah, over the years a lot has changed, but I think the fight and the drive and the belief of wanting to make our nation proud stays the same. We've been a pretty consistent team in this tournament. We've been to back-to-back finals, back-to-back semi-finals, and a quarterfinal. So I think this year the mentality is to go all the way. So God's willing, we can do that.
Thank you, Jason. Daniel Blake.
Hi, good afternoon, Coach. You've been impressed with the team's defensive performances ever since the Unity Cup. Now with Ethan returning to the squad, and you've seen, the partnership of Damion and Richard and Mason and so forth, how tempted are you to change that defensive lineup, or are you going to continue with what you have seen from the players that have been available for the last 3-4 weeks?
Yeah, it's a dilemma because Unity Cup, Mason Holgate did very well with Richard King, and then obviously the last game we had injury to Mason, who had to come off. Damion stepped in with Richard King coming back from injury from the game in the BVI. So we've tried different partnerships, and defending is key. Clean sheets are key to winning tournaments, and we have to have a solid foundation, and with that needs a good back 4 or 5, whatever you play, and you need good defenders. So with the addition of Ethan, Damion coming in for the World Cup qualifiers has added experience and damn good defenders, and that's what we need. Richard King is developing. Congratulations on his move to St Mirren in Scotland, which will help develop his game as well. That's going to benefit Jamaica in the future. And so we've got talent in that area, and we need to be strong in that area. If we can keep clean sheets, be hard to beat. We've got the talent going forward to win games.
Thank you, Daniel. Livingston Scott, go ahead.
Yes, Coach. Afternoon to you and Damian. It's always tricky playing a good team back-to-back, Coach. And as you mentioned, it will be a different type of ball game. How do you prepare for a tricky situation like this? Is it more mental side, or will you demand more of the players running wise? How do you prepare for a challenge like this with a tricky opponent like this?
We prepare like we always prepare. Make sure that we respect the opponent, which we did before the game, Guatemala, and we respect them even more now because we know the potential that they've got. We know the people that they've got to come in as well. So it's a case of respecting, making sure that the players respect not just each other, not just the rules, but also the opponent. If we get that, we get the process right. We try and prepare for every game in a similar fashion to win it. We try to portray that from myself to the staff, to everybody outside, to the team. We're here to win. We're here to do well, and to do that, we must start well tomorrow. We must collect 3 points, and that will be a great start. We know it's hard, but every game is hard. The process is hard. You have to go through it, but at the end, it's worth the suffering.